Up next on U.S. Bank Business Watch, presented by the Cincinnati Business Courier, honoring and recognizing our region's young, up-and-coming leaders. Put away your Kindle and your iPad. There's a brand new bookstore in town with real books. And it's time to make the donuts. We'll tell you about a new donut shop with a bacon on the menu. U.S. Bank Business Watch is next. Good morning. Welcome to U.S. Bank Business Watch. I'm Brian Patrick. On the front page centerpiece of the Business Courier, if you're ever concerned about the future of our community, there are 40 reasons to stop worrying. Each year, the Business Courier announces its 40 Under 40 Awards, an event honoring young professionals who've distinguished themselves both at work and in the community. Last week, we held that event and announced this year's leaders, the 18th class of 40 Under 40 honorees. The honorees offer an early look at our region's future leaders. The average age of the class this year, 36, and it is evenly split between men and women. They also cover a wide range of business interests. We caught up with a couple of them.
I think Cincinnati has the best YPC in the United States. I think we're underrated in a lot of areas. People compare us to places like Austin or Denver, but Cincinnati has a lot of great things that are happening. The downtown environment's changing. People are, finding work here and wanting to stay here, and I think that's reflective of how much the YPs are having an impact in our community.
It's fantastic to be with a really great group of young leaders, future leaders, even looking in the past, all of the names of very prominent Cincinnatians who have made a huge difference. It's a tremendous honor to be counted amongst that group.
So we asked recipients to cite a tweet that resonated with them, and 6 of the 40 cited the same tweet, a quote from President Abraham Lincoln. I love this. In the end, it's not the years in your life that counts, it's the life in your years. Now, be sure to pick up a hard copy of the paper this week. You'll find our special 40 Under 40 insert to read all about the honorees. In addition to 40 Under 40, the Business Courier also announced the Second Act winners, recognizing leaders in our community who have reinvented themselves after an already successful career. October the 3rd, the Business Courier, along with presenting sponsors Ernst & Young, PNC Bank, and Dinsmore, will host a new black tie event recognizing outstanding directors. These are the people who have shown exceptional service and dedication by serving an organization on its board of directors. The winners are, in the public category, Lawrence Keller, Multicolor Corp., David Phillips, Meridian Bioscience, J. Marvin Quinn, E.W. Scripps Company. In the nonprofit category, Kathy Crane, Cincinnati Opera, Melody Sawyer Richardson, Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, and C. Francis Barrett, University of Cincinnati. In the private category, Don McKee, Safeway Safety Step, and Jerry Reichert with Michelman. Business Courier publisher Jamie Smith is with George Vincent this morning. George is managing partner and chairman at Dinsmore, one of our partners for this event. Jamie and George.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for being here today, George.
Great to be here, Jim.
I know the Business Courier is really excited to launch this new program, Outstanding Directors. Talk to us a little bit about why Dinsmore wants to be a part of this.
We're pretty excited, too. Directors are really the backbone of corporate governance. A good director can make an enormous difference in a company and its employees' lives. So we think it's a great opportunity to honor great directors who've done something above and beyond what regular directors would do.
Yeah, I think so many times the directors too are in the background. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody really know on the outside what they're doing. So I think it's good for us to kind of pull them out, put the best ones out there for everybody to see.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see directors make the news for something terrible that's happened, and it's nice to recognize people for doing great work.
Right. Well, I think it's going to be a great event. October 3rd is the date that we're going to have it. As you mentioned, it's this black tie because we really want to make it a celebration. That's what this is all about when the Courier does awards. awards. It's, you know, to put them out there, let everybody see them, but more than anything, celebrate them for what they've done. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We get a chance to spend time with you, which is great for us.
Well, that's good. I'm anxious to see. I think we've got a great first class. You saw the names run on the screen there. I mean, there's some super leaders there that we're honoring this year.
Absolutely right. Great role models, the kind of people you wish and hoped you could be yourself.
Yeah, well, we had a reception just a few weeks ago to kind of get ready for it, shoot some videos. So I'm anxious to see, you know, how it all goes up. And I thank you for being a part of it this year, along with PNC and of course EY. And we look forward to seeing you on the 3rd. The screen's going to have more information on how to get tickets. But again, I'm looking forward to this great event.
And likewise, thanks for having us.
All right, thanks. Brian?
All right, gentlemen, late last week, Kroger Company CEO David Dillon announced he will retire January 1st, 2014. He will still serve as chairman of the board through December 31st, 2014. Rodney McMullen, Kroger's president and chief operating officer since 2009, will become the CEO of the Cincinnati-based grocery chain. McMullen's successor will be named at a later date. Well, Saks Fifth Avenue may be leaving downtown Cincinnati to open a store at Kenwood Collection. Real estate sources say the owner of Kenwood Collection has been working to land Saks Fifth Avenue, as well as other upscale retailers, for its plan to transform that long-stalled mixed-use project off I-71. Saks is, of course, now at 5th and Race downtown. A spokeswoman for Saks declined to comment. A spokeswoman for the city of Cincinnati said the city is talking with Saks Fifth Avenue, but she would not answer questions about the nature of the conversations. She said the company has not told the city that it plans to leave downtown. Eagle Realty Group and Western and Southern Financial Group have completed the addition of Top of the Park. It's a new rooftop terrace at the Marriott Residence Inn, Cincinnati, downtown at the Phelps. The venue has views of Lytle Park, downtown Cincinnati, the Ohio River, and Mount Adams. The event space includes an enclosed room on the 12th floor and a large rooftop area on the east side of the building.
The types of events will be corporate meetings, cocktail receptions, weddings, bar mitzvahs, social events, all utilizing the top of the park.
Mike Conway's company manages the 134-suite hotel. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the rooftop will be open from 5:30 to 9 p.m. for hotel guests and the public. Well, if you thought bookstores were a thing of the past, you better think again. Neil Van Om, the founder of Joseph Beth Booksellers, has opened a booksellers on Fountain Square in the former Brooks Brothers space on Vine Street. He is a downtown resident and saw this as an opportunity to appeal to other urban dwellers and business professionals.
I started out in bookselling 30 years ago where the stores were this size. They eventually grew to be very, very large. Inventory selection was everything. I think more and more today, people are interested in bookstores that are a little bit more personal. Maybe the selection's a little bit more thoughtful.
The 7,000-square-foot store sells books and magazines, as well as movies, music, and other items, and it includes a cafe. The hours will be based on demand, but Van Om says he plans to be open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday. Sundays are still being determined. Well, a bookstore isn't the only thing that's new again. How about a good old-fashioned donut shop? Holtzman's Donuts is now open at 13th and Vine Streets and Over the Rhine. All the donuts are made fresh on site. The apparent favorites so far?
I would say our most popular donuts are new donut, which is called the maple bacon donut. It's a cake donut with maple icing and bacon on top. It is like a pancake, a warm pancake, with maple syrup and bacon. It's to die for.
I'm willing to die for that. Holtzman's also has a store in Loveland. The OTR store will cater to early risers and the late night crowd on weekends. It's making me hungry. Well, we all know hot dogs and baseball go together, but pizza and baseball? Cincinnati Reds fans are cashing in big time this season on the free pizza deal from hometown chain La Rosa's. Here's the deal. If Reds pitchers strike out at least 11 opposing batters in any home game, fans can turn in their ticket stubs at any La Rosa's during the next 7 days for a free small pizza with up to 4 toppings. So far this season, that's happened 22 times. La Rosa's has dished up a whopping $1.2 million in free pies. That's more than 200,000 pizzas. La Rosa's VP of Marketing says customers who come in to cash in typically buy more, and in addition to that, La Rosa's is building a lot of goodwill. And there are 6 more home games left, so 6 more chances to win free La Rosa's pizza. Well, after all that talk of donuts and pizza, let's give a little attention to our health. I thought that was health. Our partnership with the Interact for Health, formerly the Health Foundation of Greater Cincinnati, continues this week with this question to Kate Keller, Vice President for Policy and External Relations. Kate, can I offer multiple plans to my employees from the Small Business Insurance Exchange?
In 2014, Ohio and Indiana employers can choose from a number of plans from multiple insurance companies, but once selected, employees will have only that one plan as an option. Kentucky has not made it clear if employers can offer multiple plans in their exchange. By 2015, employers in all states will be able to offer multiple plans to their employees. You can find more information or ask questions about how healthcare reform will affect your business at reform.interactforhealth.org.
All right, Kate, we appreciate you and our partnership with Interact for Health. Up next on U.S. Bank Business Watch, are you financially prepared if the worst should happen? Author Lee Woodruff was in town last week and shared her story of bouncing back after her husband, Bob Woodruff, was injured by a bomb in Iraq. 2 Cincinnati companies get national recognition for taking care of moms next. Here's some news you may have missed if you're not reading the Business Courier online every day. Renowned wildlife artist John Ruthven was on hand Wednesday for Artworks dedication ceremony of the mural version of Martha, the last passenger pigeon. The huge and beautiful piece of artwork is on the side of a building at 15 East 8th Street downtown. The 88-year-old Ruthven participated heavily in the project, working side by side with more than a dozen local students on high scaffolding that was built specifically for him. You can see a slideshow of the piece on our website. Really interesting. Wiedemann Special Lager has found new life and is making a return to shelves at Kroger stores. 30 years after the original facility in Newport was shut down and demolished, former Business Courier reporter John Newberry has relaunched the George Wiedemann Brewing Company. The beer is available at several Kroger locations and should be in all tri-state Kroger stores by mid to late October. Cincinnati-based Procter & Gamble and Tri-Health made this year's Working Mother magazine list of the 100 best companies in the nation for working moms. The distinction is based on family-friendly benefits and flexible cultures. The only other Ohio company that made the list was Cardinal Health in Dublin, Ohio. U.S. Bank's Private Client Reserve hosted a Women Empowering Women event last week on the topic of financial preparedness. About 100 people attended the breakfast at Cincinnati's Playhouse in the Park to hear from Lee Woodruff, author and wife of journalist Bob Woodruff, who suffered serious injuries while reporting in Iraq. She shared her journey to financial preparedness by experiencing a life-altering event.
When my husband, Bob Woodruff, was injured in Iraq in 2006, that was a very sudden moment. Not everyone's husband is going to be hit by a bomb in a war, but there are so many things, as many folks out there understand, whether it's divorce or a car accident or an illness. And we always think that that's not going to happen to us, and I think that's human nature to believe that. And we should walk around and live every day as if it's not. But on the back end, it's really important to be prepared.
What a powerful story she has to share. Lee Woodruff was joined by Kate Brown and Mindy McLaughlin from U.S. Bank, who offered tips on how to prepare for the unexpected. And in this morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360, we're fortunate to be joined by Senior Portfolio Manager Mindy McLaughlin, who will share her insight with us. She's with our own Jim Russell, U.S. Bank investment analyst, with us most weeks on Business Watch. Jim and Mindy.
Thank you, Brian. Mindy, thank you for joining us this morning. Mindy is the Senior Portfolio Manager for U.S. Bank Wealth Management and does wonderful work for our private clients, and will be leading the chicken dance at this weekend's Oktoberfest, so watch for that. Mindy, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
So what were some of the key takeaways? What were some of the key messages you shared with your audience at the event?
Sure. It was a great event. We had a wonderful time, and really our content focused on 3 areas: awareness, education, and comfort. And we really started with laying out some statistics that I think a lot of people know some of these. You know, women tend to live a lot longer than men. Sadly, we're often widowed at an early age, and so we do have to deal with wealth management issues.
Right.
One bright spot is we're graduating a lot of women out of college, as well as starting a lot of businesses. So one way or another, we're really going to be dealing with these types of financial matters.
Sure.
Regarding education, I think we talked a lot about the importance of knowing what does your net worth statement look like. What do you own? You know, where is it? Do you have any debts and so forth?
Right.
Very important stuff. We also discussed important documents that you need to have and make sure you're revisiting and updating, especially, you know, in Lee's case, healthcare powers of attorney and directives and so forth. And so that's critical. And then, of course, we always talk about budgeting and bill pay. And so really, I think the primary emphasis was having your view be heard and have a seat at the table so you get that level of comfort and are able to deal with these financial matters.
Well, a lot of important things there, no question. Now, you and your team talk a little bit about goals-based investing. Can you explain to us maybe why that is so critical?
Sure. You know, when you look at investing and planning, we often refer to, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then we've got a financial pyramid that we kind of use for planning, which isn't just cash flow analysis. You know, do you have enough to pay your bills? What we do when we meet with our clients is we really like to sit down with them and not only go through the basic needs, but move them up that pyramid so that they're able to achieve that level of financial independence. But the fun stuff really is at the top of the pyramid. You know, what do you really want your money to do for you? Is it help your children and grandchildren, or perhaps a social legacy? You know, maybe you have some charitable involvement. So, you know, really try to put the focus, you know, it's not, as you move up the pyramid, it's not just on you, but on helping others and that type of thing.
Wow, great stuff there too. You know, when I listen to you, I'm kind of taken with the word empowerment. That's what is left with me. What are you actually asking men and women that you speak to do? What are the takeaways there, Mindy?
Sure. You know, I think really one big thing that we find, and this could be with either spouse, but oftentimes, you know, only one person in a household is responsible for the financial affairs. And so we want to make sure that, you know, both spouses really understand what they have or who they would need to go to. You know, many times it's important to have an investment advisor or a financial advisor, someone like myself or a trusted friend who can help you, because really what we're trying to do is give you peace of mind so that you can take care of yourself and your family and the things that matter to you the most.
Right. This is really important stuff to hold on to. Thank you for sharing this morning. Brian, back to you.
My pleasure.
Mindy, Jim, thank you. Still to come on U.S. Bank Business Watch, the 12th annual Midpoint Music Festival starts Thursday. What does this alternative music festival mean to the economic impact of our region? We'll find out next. Well, it's great to have you with us. I hope you're enjoying Oktoberfest, and it's time to get your groove on and enjoy some of the hottest bands, some unknowns and some well-known in alternative music. Midpoint Music Festival 13 begins Thursday in downtown Cincinnati and over the Rhine. Now, this year's concert runs Thursday, September 26th through Saturday the 28th. Includes 175 bands, 16 walkable and bikeable stages. And in this morning's Business Insight, we're joined by the Music Festival Artistic Director, Dan McCabe, to talk about what's new this year and what the festival brings to our region. Dan, it's good to have you with us.
Brian, great to be back.
Now, this happens each year right around the same time. And you know, this is kind of a fickle business, I'm sure, in the music business. How has the growth been maintained for Midpoint?
Well, you know, Cincinnati is a great place to throw a music festival. We have a long tradition in embracing live music. It happens to be King Records Month this month. And we've been able to kind of take ownership of the last weekend of September. For 12 years, it's what Cincinnati does. It goes out, folks go out and they wade into Midpoint Music Festival and experience new music.
This is a great time for the city of Cincinnati. I mean, you've got all the things that are going on between the Bengals, the Reds, Oktoberfest this weekend, and of course Midpoint coming up later this week. What kind of economic impact do you think your music festival brings, in addition to all the other events we talked about?
Well, Midpoint Music Festival is and has been an investment in Over the Rhine. It's held in downtown's oldest neighborhood of Over the Rhine. Over the Rhine, of course, has grown as Midpoint has grown, and it's just a fantastic way to show off this city to the region. Folks come in, merchants open early, stay open late, and it's a huge boost for that neighborhood.
Yeah, this is video from last year, and I'm sure this year will be bigger and better. The fact that people are walking from venue to venue, what difference does that that make economically?
Oh, well, first of all, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, if you're down and
Full
over the Rhine during midpoint, you know, you might be in New York City for all you know, as long as you don't look up. And but it's very vibrant and it's exciting, and folks are seeing people that they hadn't seen in a long time. It just has this energy to it, and the merchants benefit from that. It's not just stages at two ends of a field. This is small businesses hosting and producing these shows.
So as people are walking or riding their bikes, they're going to stop and get something to eat, something to drink.
Yeah.
But are there other things? Maybe do some shopping, or at least get more familiar with some of the other merchants in that over the Rhine area.
Oh yeah. You know, first of all, the festival maps are very helpful. We put out a pocket guide on site. CityBeat produces a festival guide that is distributed, so you get a good picture of over the Rhine, where you are, and it makes it much more easy to come back to over the Rhine after midpoint and visit the shops and the restaurants maybe you didn't get to during the festival.
This has been incredibly successful. What are you offering new this year? I know each year you have to kind of up the ante a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, each year we just try to do last year's festival better. And last year was the first year we used Washington Park. It had just opened. We were the first major event in Washington Park. We're excited to be back, and we have a day party hosted by the Breeders, a great rock and roll band from this region on Saturday. Tickets are still available specifically to that show. It runs early, so we have earlier shows this year. We're still a 3-day event, but we try to use more of those 3 days each year. And that day party on Saturday at Washington Park is a good example of that.
So is Washington Park the center stage, or it is?
Yeah, you could call that. Yeah, you could call it that. The main stage is certainly our biggest stage, where we have the opportunity to host a lot of the attendees. We expect over 25,000 attendees this year, and a big chunk of them could fit into over the Rhine's Washington Park.
There was a huge investment made in Washington Park. This is a really great example of how that can be recouped, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. It is such a fun place to add to Over the Rhine.
Okay. We have information for you. If you'd like to get to the Midpoint Music Festival, check out the Midpoint Music Festival at mpmf.com. Dan McCabe with us. Thank you so much. Great luck with the festival this year. Looking forward to it. All right, thank you for joining us this morning for U.S. Bank Business Watch. We will be back next Sunday and every Sunday morning, 6:30 here on Local 12, 10 a.m. on the CW. For more business news all during the week, be sure to visit our Business Courier online and set up our daily emails. Our address, CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com. From all of us at U.S. Bank Business Watch, I'm Brian Patrick. Have a great Sunday and a really good week.